Hi guys, and today I'll be playing The Kid at the Back. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. Day one, the beloved. And class dismissed. By our next meeting, I need a full report of the chosen poem everyone searched. Got it? The classroom was then filled with a series of low, yes ma'am, and a few hums. Satisfied, your literature teacher packed up her things and went out of the classroom. When she was out, the students went on a series of chitter and chatter. Others stood up, dragging their chair as they prepared to head out for lunch break. A slight yawn escaped their lips, your lips. Your eyes gazed outside through the classroom's window. The sky is starting to dim, the sun's rays blocked by the dark clouds looming. You cursed under your breath. It's going to rain. Just my luck. Didn't bother to bring an umbrella, too. You sighed in irritation as you stood up from your seat. Suddenly, a tap on your shoulder interrupted your line of thought. You turned your head towards the person asking for your attention. Your eyes met with his cobalt blue eyes. They stared straight into your own orbs. A brow raised as if in slight irritation. She's clearly impatient. Impatient for what? Sorry about that. You should have watched where you were going here. Brittany's eyes met with the person responsible. A group of girls, definitely bullies, and judging from Brittany's face filled with rage, they seemed to know each other. Britt, are you alright? We should get yourself clean. You. Freaking bitch. This is my only clean uniform. How dare you? Oh, look at Miss Claire all flared up. Careful there, sweetie. You'll get wrinkles. It's not like you're all ugly already. And by ugly, this is getting ugly quite fast. Everyone's gazes were on the group of girls, some taking out their phones, either taking pictures or starting to record. Crow tried to come in between them to stop the fight, but he wasn't fast enough. Splat! Next thing we knew, another loud gasp was heard. A wide smile on Brittany's face, food on the mean girl's white uniform as well. His face filled with shock as the food from her tray is gone. Take that, shit stain. How dare you? Food fight! Next thing everyone knew, the cafeteria is filled with rowdy teenagers and food flying across the area. Are those trays? Oh, a sudden wave of pain was felt on your head, your whole face. The last thing you saw was Crow calling out your name before passing out. Ugh, where am I? Oh, you're awake. Thank goodness. That was dumb. Why are people throwing trays? Crow? You tried to sit up, but the sudden pain that went through your head stopped you. Crow gently pushed you back down in what seems to be a bed before taking a seat beside it. The nurse already bandaged your head, so don't push yourself. Ugh, what happened? Well, after Daryl started that mess of a food fight, the principal was called in to stop it. Daryl got lucky enough to escape when he did. Gia was nowhere to be seen. As for Brittany, what about her? Well, Jess helped her out to grab a new uniform from the principal's office. Then why does my head hurt so much? Someone threw a tray and you were unfortunate enough to get hit by it. Thankfully, I got you out of there before you got ugly. Thanks, Crow. I owe you one. Don't mention it. Anyway, it's 1:15 in the afternoon. I should probably head out to my next class. You should stay here until the nurse gets back. You'll be alright alone here, right? No. Yes, you can go ahead. You sure? Yeah, I'll be fine, Crow. You've done enough for me today. Gave him a small smile, but he did not return it. Crow then squeezed your hand, quite hesitant of letting go of you go before letting go. You missed it as soon as he lets go. He stood up from his seat, but not before giving you a smile and left the infirmary. You groaned and lied back down in the bed, feeling the bandage on your head. At least the pain is slowing down a bit. Hope it didn't leave a mark in my head. Just then you heard the door open, the nurse's voice echoing through the room as the clicking of her heels gets louder as she draws closer. The school nurse entered, and following her was a tall student dressed in black. He seems to be holding on to his left hand, and there you can clearly see a streak of blood flowing. You should be thankful you didn't cut a vein. How were you able to get past with that pocket knife in the first place? The nurse sighs. Seems like she got her hands full with another student. The latter, however, didn't say anything, but lets out a small hiss when the nurse dabbed antibacterial on his wound. You sat up slowly, careful not to hit your head on anything else before sitting up, and looked at the student and the nurse. Your eyes met with the reddish-orange ones as the nurse finishes up wrapping up around his wound. A blotch of red slowly slips out and staining the once white bandage. His eyes still follow on you. Ah, you're finally awake, Miss Smith. Your nurse finally notices your presence. She took out some painkillers from one of the cabinets and gave you some. Take these to lessen the pain. You both are free to get back to your class, or you can stay here and recover. I'll go back. Thanks for patching me up, nurse. The boy said before heading out of the infirmary. The nurse just shook her head before returning her attention to you. You could take some extra pills, but not too much. You can come back here if you ever feel anything wrong, Miss Smith. Take care now. You thank the nurse before heading out of the infirmary and on to your next class. Do you have a partner? No. Well, just your luck then. Me neither. So, do you want to be partners? Sure, why not? Took the vacant seat right beside him, his book now tucked away and on his desk, and now a pen and piece of paper, seemingly ready to take notes. Hey, I never got to know your name. It's not quite important. Well, I should at least know what to call you instead of green-streaked hair guy. He raised a brow at your silly nickname you gave him before slightly shaking his head. Sylvan Brooks Mainsia? Just call me Soul. Soul. Soul means sun or brightness, right? Your name contradicts with your whole glam, not gonna lie. Well, yeah. Soul looked away, scratching his cheek. Guess so. Not really the jolly type. Hugo's more of that. Well, I'm Susie Smith. Nice to finally know your name, Soul. Soul nodded with a small smile before returning his attention back to the professor. For this term, I want you and your partner to pass 3 art pieces. First one will be a portrait of your partner, strictly on paper with charcoal as a medium. You groaned. Boomer art teachers. Your professor then proceeds to give the other 2 tasks before leaving you and the rest of the class to do your task for the day. Everyone started talking with their partners, some talking out of their needed materials as the other one poses. He turned to Soul as he takes out his own charcoal pencil and his sketch pad for the class. I gotta tell you right now, Soul, I would say I'm pretty good. That's why I'm in art class, right? Oh, then surprise me. Sorry, I can't draw you back because of this damn injury. Don't worry about it. You're excused and I don't want you to stress your hand over this. He took out your sketch pad and your pencil and worked with his portrait with determination, his eyes never leaving your face. He would often look up to see his features, taking note of every curve, a blush occasionally invading his cheeks as he tried his best not to look away while you worked. While you were sketching up, you can't help but avert your eyes on his bandaged hand from time to time. Seems you're quite curious to know what happened to this, huh? And you weren't slick with it either. He froze when he caught you red-handed, just like the red seeping out of his hand. He stopped drawing. Sorry, that was rude of me. It's fine, this is just the usual for me. Found worse injuries than this. You raised a brow at that. Not the worst? If you don't mind me asking, what happened? He paused and averted his eyes, but opens up to speak. Nothing much. Was minding my own business. Got assaulted. Had to defend myself. He talks as if it was just another normal Monday for him. Your eyes burrowed. He noticed and just chuckled. No need to worry about me. All that matters is that I'm still here. Didn't say anything, however. Continuing on with the drawing, your movement slow and now refusing to look at his injured hand. This school is way more effed up than I thought it would be. The bell rang, and sadly you weren't done with his portrait yet. Can I see it? Wait. I'm not finished yet. I'll show it to you once I'm done with it. Plus, you still need to draw me once your injury gets better. Close your sketch pad and fix your things. Soul shrugged and agreed as he fixed his own things. The rest of the class went out of the classroom along with you and Soul as you continued on in the hallway. Do you have a phone? We could exchange numbers and update each other so we could do the next 2 more tasks. Soul then takes out his own phone and asks for your number. You're sighed out as he inputted it on his phone. Let me try to send you a message. You nodded and looked at your phone screen and see a notification from an unknown number. This must be Soul's. What's up? Is that Edgar Allan Poe? You type so differently from how you look. So what's that supposed to mean? Nothing. You chuckled. He rolled his eyes. You're a good guy, Soul. How about we hang out again tomorrow? By your request, Soul's eyes widened in disbelief. He let out a breath that he was somehow holding before sighing. Of course, I'll see you tomorrow then? He nodded and walked off, giving him a wave goodbye, him returning with his own small wave. As you walked through the hallway, your eyes caught on something on a nearby bulletin board. A poster plastered on the large board. The Hallows Ball. Come enjoy the festive spirit of Hallows Eve. A Halloween party, huh? This like a preparatory school, like a fancy school? By the time you arrived at your small apartment, it was already past 5 p.m. You stretched out your arms and let out a small groan. You locked your doors and decided to just order takeout for dinner. You went to your living room and plopped down on the couch and took out your phone, scrolling through until a ping notified you of a new message. It was from Daryl. Anyone want to go to the Halloween party this Friday? It's gonna be awesome. Aren't we all a bit too old for costume parties? Is it required? You two are no fun at all. I won't go if it's not a school requirement. Much less of a waste of my time. Is it? No, it isn't. But it'll be a great and fun experience for all of us. I mean, we should listen up a bit, you know. I agree with Crow. Count me in. Pass. I've got more important things to do than the bat party. Now, will you excuse me? I'll be doing my leftover task for tonight. Joe's gone off mine. He doesn't really care. She's a stick in the mud as usual. How about you, Susie? Me? You joining? It'll be fun. You're honestly surprised they somehow remembered you. Checking your calendar through your phone, you didn't seem to have any plans in the near future, or plans at all. You just like to spend your time in your apartment alone. I mean, sure. That's great to hear. Crow seems happy about it, you giggled. This also reminds you of something, or rather someone. Opening another chat, you tapped in Soul's newly added contact and sent him a message by sending the image of the same poster Daryl sent. A Halloween party hosted by the school? Yeah, I'm not quite into parties. Oh well, that's alright, just asking, that's all. Soul's typing. Wait, if you're coming, then I'm coming as well. Really? Really. Do you plan on dressing up? I don't know, do you? I mean, it's a costume party, so why not? I'll try to think of something then. You swear you could feel a smile behind those words. With a quick word of goodbye, you set your phone down when you heard your doorbell. That must be the food delivery. Afterwards, you ate your dinner and prepared yourself for bed. You thought of today the events that occurred, and meeting Soul, of course. He's really a nice guy. It's a wonder how I never met him despite sharing a single class with him. Oh well. You entered your bedroom, letting out a big yawn as you stretched your body. Turn to your laundry slowly piling up and scratch your head. We'll probably do laundry tomorrow, but for now, plop yourself on the soft cushions of your bed, getting into a comfortable position and slowly dozing off as you close your eyes, embracing sleep as the night goes. What's the huff? The ha? What's going on? Oh, okay.
What is it finna play? Wow!
I made another mess? And yet these still smell like you. Seems like my luck is finally turning around for the better. I can't wait to see you tomorrow, Susie. My one and only soulmate. You opened the doors and you were hit by the smell of coffee and books. You went to your usual spot in the library, the one by the large window near the cafe section. The fancy thing about our university is that their library is a library cafe. Students can get coffee as early in the morning up until the afternoon. It is a huge hit amongst the students, and you can't seem to blame them. Coffee fuels every college student's souls, especially getting work down. As you made your way towards our usual spot, however, you halted when a person suddenly took a seat on the spot. You groaned. Just great. What should I do about this? Find somewhere else to sit, ask him to move away from your seat? It's kind of rude. Do we just take a seat beside him? Personally, for me, if that were me, I would move away, but let's just take a seat beside him. At the cost of the comfort of your favorite spot, you don't want to deal with him nor want to engage in a conversation. Oh, it was still him. You walked towards where he was at, him not minding your presence, and took the seat right next to him. Paid you no mind as he placed your things down and took out your laptop, preparing to write down a head start of your report. It was quiet and your attention was just solely focused on the work for you, while the guy beside you continued on with his book. The sound of him flipping through was oddly comforting. Time passed by, and the next thing you know, there are only a few students left in the library. The guy beside you closed his book, checked it into his bag, and left the library. You turned to look up at the library's large clock. A few minutes before your next class. You stopped writing down, turned off your laptop, and placed all your things in your bag before heading out to the library as you quickly rushed out to make it to your next class. You barely made it to your next class, your professor already on his desk and was slowly bringing out their tools for the lesson of the day. You looked around across the room, paintbrushes by the shelves, the week's featured artworks with a few blank canvases hidden in the shelf. The classroom was slowly being filled with the professor already by the table. Quickly went to your seat. Suddenly felt as if someone was staring at you, drilling holes through the back of your head. Turned around but saw no one. Everyone was just simply minding their own business. Shrugged it off and returned your gaze to your professor. So I'm gonna say that we're not that good at art. Everyone starts somewhere. Would you like me to draw you first instead? If it's not a problem, not at all. With that, Soul takes out his own sketch pad and sketchbook and pencil, sitting upright and facing you. Straighten up your back, sitting properly as if you're about to take an ID picture. Is this okay? Just relax your shoulders. It'll be fine. Just be natural. Oh, okay. Your breathing stopped. Soul leaned in, his face a few inches near your face, almost feeling his minty breath. He raised his hand and brushed a strand of your hair away from your face and tucked it behind your ear. Very intimate? There, that was in the way. You were sure you were as bright as a cherry by now. He didn't say anything else as Soul began his sketch, his eyes hopping from the paper to your face, and you swear every time you meet his gaze, your heartbeat quickens. Be still, my beating heart. And you dealt with that for the rest of class. Before you knew it, the class ended. Everyone was packing up their things. Soul sadly isn't done with your portrait, which you were dying to see, but he said that he's going to keep it a secret until he finishes it. You better not make me look funny. What makes you think of that? Why you? I'm kidding. His hand then tried to reach out to your face as if wanting to cup your cheek, but he stopped midway. You're so pretty. Did you say something, Soul? Nothing. You have a phone? We could exchange numbers and update each other so we can do the next two tasks. Soul takes out his own phone and asks for your number. He said it out as he inputted it on his phone. Let me try to send you a message. You nodded and looked at your phone screen to see a new notification from an unknown number. Okay, I'm back at the library again. I'm going to choose to just find somewhere else to sit. You don't want to deal with strangers or anyone else at the moment, even if you want to be at your spot at the very moment. Looking around, you decide to find a different seat. You find one? Sadly, the only available one you were able to see is the one next to the loud gossiping students. You swear out of all the places to be, they have to be in the library. You decide to grab a book to divert your attention to something else. You don't feel like doing your research paper. You went to the fiction section. Tall bookshelves come into your view. Your fingers brushed along the spines of the books, some old, some new. Thud? Your thud caused the shelf to wobble a bit, nearly knocking a few books down. You click your tongue and try to take a peek through the bookshelves to see what's causing it. Well, look at what we have here. It's Creep McGee? What's wrong? Hack out your tongue. Great, another bullying situation. Why are there bullies at university like this? You sigh. Sometimes people never grow out of their high school phase. The poor teen didn't say anything as they were pinned onto the bookshelf, explained a few shakes. Just then the teen muttered something under his breath. What did you say? Speak up, freak. Oh, it's him. I said. F off. Why, you little... Thud. He winced. The redheaded head landing a blow on the boy before your eyes caught something glistening from the raven-haired bully's pocket. A pocket knife. Oh, that's how he got stabbed. How the hell did he get in with that? Let's see if you'll continue being a smartass once I cut your mouth. Should I stop? I don't know what to do. Should I quickly leave the scene? I mean, he has a knife. I don't know. We'll stop them then. I've got to stop them. You rushed out as quickly as you can across to where the bullies are. Stop! From the sound of your voice, the bullies halt in their movement and turn to face where you are. You looked at the teen clearly knocked down on the floor, a few books on his side. Your eyes met with a piercing, reddish one. His eyes narrowed as he turns at your sudden appearance. If you heard him, I'll scream and alert everyone in the library. By your threat, the bullies clicked their tongue before roughly kicking the teen on the floor and leaving, the raven-haired one shoving your shoulder on their way. You rubbed the area where the bully shoved you before turning your attention back to the teen on the floor. He looks pretty beaten up, a purple bruise forming on his left cheek. You went down towards him and kneeled down, offering your hand. He said nothing, however. Looked at your outstretched hand, hesitating for a while before gripping your wrist and helping him stand up. Now that he's standing at his full height, he's actually pretty tall, probably around 6 feet. His reddish eyes then going back and forth around the area, back to you and on a random corner. We should probably get you to the nurse's office. I'm fine. I'm fine, no need. And with that, he left as quickly as he can. You trailed after him, seeing him pack up his things from what seems to be your usual spot before exiting the library. Well, at least my usual spot is open now, but I wonder if they're actually feeling alright. Well, you'll never know. You just barely made it to your next class. Your professor already on his desk and will slowly bring out their tools for the lesson of the day. Would you like me to draw you first? I mean, I don't mind. I'm quite confident in my skill of art, you said with a smile on your face. Soul thought for a bit. The offer was quite tempting, but then he remembers the bandage on his face. He shook his head as he took out his own sketch pad and his pencil. No, it's alright. I'd rather draw you for now. You sure? Yeah. Why so? 'Cause you're prettier. I mean, I look like crap. And you look... Oh, whoa, slow down. What were you saying? That I'm pretty? Yes. Can I just draw you? I just don't look like how I look with this bandage on my face, that's all. God, it feels like I'm about to explode. You just gave a small chuckle before letting him do the honors and draw you instead. You sat up straight, fixed your hair as Soul started on his sketch. A red covered his cheeks up to his ears as he tries his best to hide his blushing face before his sketch pad. The sound of the pencil against the paper filled the classroom. You on your seat as Soul looks up at you and back on the paper from time to time. Whenever his gaze is at you, he swore his eyes got half-filled as if in a dreamy daze. But you didn't think much about it. Thank you. What was that? Soul stopped his strokes on the paper and finally locked gaze with you. His sketch pad covers half of his face as he speaks. Thank you, Susie, for helping me back in the library. Oh, it's not a problem. You're in quite a pickle and no one bothered to help you out. I don't know what I'll do if I didn't save you back there. Well, you saved me the trouble today. After that, Soul said nothing as he looks at you before continuing on. He swore a small tint of pink appeared on his ears as he keeps hiding half of his face behind his sketch pad. Small conversations were made then and there as he worked while you kept the air afloat. Sorry I wasn't able to make it in time to not get you injured. He started and Soul's eyes just widened at you before shaking his head. Don't worry about it. This type of things are just usual for me. The usual for you? He sighs as if the thought alone is such a huge task on his hands while he continues on. I get in trouble either way, so what's the point? Soul then mumbles something under his breath, the grip on the pencil tightening in his grip before sighing and looking up at you. And that was enough to calm him down and continued on with his sketch, leaving you dumbfounded. And before you knew it, class was over. And he wasn't done with the sketch yet. Okay, just a few more touches and there. Can I see? Of course. Okay, so he's done this time. Soul hands you his sketches to you and you gasp. This looks so good, the details and everything. And he's not even done yet. Soul, this looks amazing. How the hell do you do this? By your compliment, he just rubbed the back of his neck and shrugged a little, a bit embarrassed at your compliment. I love to sketch once in a while. I often draw random people in parks when I go out. Couldn't help but admire him and his work. Can I keep this? I mean, right after our professor grades it, of course. Soul places a hand under his chin, thinking about it. Not sure. I think I could do better than that one. But I really like this one. He just chuckled. Alright, you can have it once I'm done and our professor grades it. But in return, I'll get to keep the portrait you'll make out of me, okay? I think that's a fair deal. Soul agreed and you cheered. You gave back his sketch pad and fixed up your things. Soul packed up as well as you both headed out towards the hallway. So let's quickly leave the scene. You didn't want to be involved in this any longer. Who knows, you might be their next victim if you stay for too long. Screw the book. You can come back and read some other time. You turned and quickly left. The smell of iron invaded your nose. You shook your head and sped back to your table. Oh, you little shit, you paid for that. What's all that noise? Just in time. From the corner of your eye, you spotted the librarian going to where the bullies were, and a gasp was heard from her lips. Two of you, to the principal's office, and as for you, Mr. Brew, you stay put as they call for the nurse. Can't help but tune in. More like the librarian's voice was a bit too loud that it reached your ears as you packed your stuff and prepared to leave the library. You turned your head, and it was at that moment that you wished you didn't. There stood a tall boy in black, his eyes red and dull, with dark eye bags under his face. His face is swollen and a purple bruise on his left cheek. The wind made your heart stop along with your breathing as the blood in his left hand, a large gash on it. You were too busy staring at his wound that you didn't see him look your way. His gaze started to burn. Really now, I guess I'm lucky to be partnered with a very skillful person. Can I ask a favor though? You nodded, signaling for him to go on. Just don't stare too much at my face. I get embarrassed, especially with this bruise in my face. Oh, sorry. Don't worry about it. I would love to draw you if it weren't for my only working hand being injured right now. He sighed. You bit your lower lip as you took your sketch pad and pencil, ready to sketch him as he lay back on his chair and relaxed his posture. You can't help but look at the bandage on his face, the purple bruise not fully covering the entire wound. Your eyes then trail to his wrapped hand, blood seeping out of it. Your stomach doesn't feel good. Actually, you don't feel good at all. And Soul noticed your change in demeanor, and the fact you haven't moved an inch on your sketch pad told him something's wrong. Hey, you okay? I. If you're worried about my face, don't mind it. Nothing to be worried about. But Soul remained quiet, not sure on what to do. The best thing he did is pulling his sleeve, trying his best to hide his bandaged hand. There, all better? Susie? You felt fingers under your chin. Next thing you know, you're face to face with Soul. His eyes filled with sorrow and his brows were furrowed in worry. At the sudden intimacy, your heartbeat quickened and you pulled away. Sorry. It's alright. You didn't mean to stare. No, I mean for leaving you there when you actually needed help. Soul raised a brow as he backed away. You were there? Back in the library, I should have helped you if I knew you were going to get badly injured. I'm such a coward. You gripped the pencil, guilt filling through your bones on what you could have easily avoided and maybe helped out. Hey, it's alright. There was nothing else you could do during that time. Who would bother to help me anyway? Say, why don't you make it up to me by finishing that portrait? So tells you with a small smile, trying his best to change the subject and to cheer you up. He said nothing, however, but started slow with the sketch, the guilt still eating you from the inside. The bell rang. Sadly, you weren't done with his portrait yet. Quite not sure of how it turned out. Can I see it? I'm not done yet, though. Is that so? Well, I haven't even gotten started with yours. Can you wait until I finish it? I promise it won't take long. Take as much time as you need, Susie. You and Soul then pack up. You hurriedly shoved everything in your bag, wanting to leave the room as soon as possible. He rushed out, catching Soul by surprise. Quickly fixed his things as well and tried to catch up to you into the hallway. Went out as quickly as you could, but Soul was hot on your trail. He eventually caught up to you and grabbed your wrist with his good hand, stopping you in your tracks. I still refused to look at him. Soul sighed and rubbed the back of his head. Hey. He didn't say anything. Soul realized what he did and let go of your wrist, mumbling a soft sorry under his breath and shoving his hands in his pockets as he bit his lower lip. A slight tint of red invading his ears, but still determined to talk to you. We should try to finish our assignment when we can, so I need to have some way to contact you. Turned to look at him and thought about it before pulling out your phone. This is just for the sole purpose of the project. Hey, I'd like for us to be friends. After what you did to him back in the library, the apparent shock in your face was enough for him to know exactly what you were thinking about and tilted his head to the side, his eyes furrowed and a small smile on his face. Stop thinking about what happened in the library. I forgive you. In fact, I wouldn't forgive myself if I were in the same position. What was that? I would like for us to be friends, Susie. You just said that. But why? His eyes ever so softened. Why not? Some smile on his face, trying to calm you down, telling you that everything is alright. Tightness in your chest slowly fading away the more you look at him, reassuring you that you did nothing wrong. So, I have this last choice here to ask them to move away from your seat. And after seeing no one else is going to take it away from you and your comfort, puffed out your chest and went towards the person where your rightful spot should be. That's kind of entitled. Actually, that's really entitled. He was reading a book, way too focused on it. He didn't notice your presence for a short while. Cough? You faked a cough. This seems to catch his attention. You're in my seat. Can I have it back? He looks up from the book he's reading, and you're met with piercing red eyes. Eye bags right under it, as if he's never gotten a wink of sleep for a week. You twiddle your thumbs, your heart thumping from your chest as you return his gaze, ending in some sort of stare down. He raised a brow before looking around under the table, on the seat, heck, even under his book before turning back to you. I don't see your name anywhere. A vein tightened. Oh, so you're trying to be a smartass, huh? Your cheeks puffed, and he just gave a small chuckle before closing his book and placing it down on the table. I'll give you your seat back, but what can you offer in exchange? Coffee? Just give me my seat? Something intimate? How are your choices here? I don't know, coffee? How about coffee? Sure look like you need one at the moment. He chuckled. Alright, coffee it is then. He then went back to reading his book and waving you off, waiting for his drink. Besides, he went near the library's cafe counter. Next in line, please. However, as you face the cashier before you, you curse under your breath. I forgot to ask what kind of coffee he likes. Screw it, whatever I guess. Facing the cashier again, you decide on mocha latte black. I mean, I could say black because he likes wearing black, but he kind of looked like mocha. I'll grab a mocha. Of course, one mocha coming right up. Once your order was called up, you grabbed a drink of your choice, thanking the barista, and went back to the seat where the guy was, careful not to accidentally spill the contents of the drinks and avoiding passing students. Was he still there? There you see him, still reading the book before looking up once he smelled the sweet aroma of coffee beans coming his way. Once you were beside him, you carefully placed down the cup beside him. He took it and held it to his face. He took a small sip from the cup before humming in approval, taking a few more sips from it. He seems to like it. Well, there's your coffee, so are you moving aside or no? You looked up, thinking hard on your words. Alright, but I'm kinda liking this spot too. You just have to deal with me sitting beside you. You nod and he moved to the seat right next to your now reserved spot. You took your seat and a smile on your face from your mini victory. He just rolled his eyes playfully before continuing on to his book. You set yourself down and started with your report for your literature class. Time passed by and lunch was nearing its end. You huffed out and double-checked the work you've done so far on your laptop. Think that should do it? Satisfied, you start to pack your things up. While doing so, your seatmate started packing up his things as well, noticing his cup of coffee now empty. He then got out of his seat and walked away, not minding your presence as he exits. Hesitated for a short moment before calling out to him before he could reach the library doors. Hey! He stopped in his tracks and turned around to look at you, brow raised. What's your next class? Clearly not expecting you to ask, much less talk to him again, he paused before replying. Art class? Wait, for real? With Mr. Spring? At least we'll know we have the same art class now. He nodded. How come you've never seen this guy throughout the semester? Sensing your confusion, he just scratched the back of his head. I really don't care if you've never seen me before. I'd rather go in class or make myself known either way. He sighed, irritation at the back of his throat at the idea. He probably got a warning to attend class where he drops. You shook your head. But still, would you like to go to the next class with me? Huh? Where'd he go? Guess he went ahead. You shrugged, heading out of the library and on to your next class, expecting the green streaked-haired male to be there. Now we know. We looked across the classroom. Some of your work then. So would you like me to draw my portrait first? Sure. Wait, let me get my things. Take out your sketch bag and a charcoal pencil as Soul relaxes on his seat. Would you like for me to pose or maybe do a 3/4 angle pose? Alright. Oh, that's what it's called. That's what it looks like. Your eyes scanned his face. The more you look at him, the more you notice some of his features. His cheekbones, his lips with 2 piercings, his slick eyebrows, the way his hair settles down his shoulders, and his reddish-orange eyes. He's actually quite handsome. For a moment you just stared at his eyes. He noticed and stared back, his pupils dilating before he realized he was staring. He rises to his cheeks, and he quickly averted his gaze and away. Hey, eyes on me. Sorry, I'm not used to being stared at for that long. Relax, it's just me. Plus, you'll stare at my boring face after I'm done with your portrait. Your face isn't boring. I actually think you look beautiful, he says without even thinking twice. His eyes met yours, half-lidded, and his pupils were wide. Now it's your turn to turn red. You hid your face behind your sketch pad, whacking him with your charcoal pencil. Stop staying stupid and stay still. Soul just chuckled and stilled his movements, a hand on his chest and a smile on his face. Before you knew it, the bell rang and class was over. Weren't done with your sketch, however, the conversation kept repeating in your mind and it made it hard for you to concentrate. And like hell you're going to show it to Soul. Come on, just a peek? It's not done yet. Boo. You checked the sketch pad into your bag before Soul could grab hold of it. You got up from your seat and headed out of the classroom, Soul coming close behind with his own bag as he leaves as well with the rest of the class. Okay, so the next choice is just demanding our seat back. I have no time for your games. Just leave me and let me have my seat that you stole. However, he just stared at you. A second passed before returning his attention back to his book. That is so my response, because if someone came up to me doing that, I'd be like, just stare and just look back, because obviously you're insane. If you really want to stay here, then make me. Either way, I'm already comfortable here, so I'm not leaving. This guy is getting on your nerves. Okay, if he doesn't want to leave, then so be it. Without thinking, you move to him before plopping yourself down his lap. That's kind of a crazy thing to do. This clearly caught him by surprise, for he lets out a sharp gasp, his eyes wide, gripping the book he nearly threw away. You looked behind him with a cocky smirk before setting down your things on the table and went on to do your literature report. He hasn't said anything for a full minute, his body stiff. Did he stop breathing too? Relax, Bulia. You're making it uncomfortable for me and it's hard to concentrate. The breath that he was holding was finally let out. He grumbled under his breath and placed his arms beside yours as he watches you go on with your work. That's so weird. Edgar Allan Poe? Yeah, what about it? What a coincidence. A report is on about him too, but not on a dream within a dream. What made you choose this poem out of everything else he's written? That was a genuine question from him. I and you were curiosity. I just think it's interesting. The way he writes is unlike any other author out there. Plus, I think this poem talks about being uncertain about something, like about life or about someone's feelings. Trailed off, the ache in your heart suddenly burns within your body. Seems to notice your change in demeanor before opening his mouth. I think that's a good topic to make a report on. Your eyes met his, a smile on his face. Chuckle left your lips at his response. Thanks, I'll do my best on it. He realized he was staring at for quite a while before looking away, small red tint invading his cheeks, avoiding your gaze. You smiled and went on with your report on his lap, him finally relaxing underneath you. How about you? What's the poem you picked from the great Mr. Poe himself? The guy looked up as if thinking before turning to look at you. Have you read Annabel Lee? If my memory serves me right, is it about that poem about their love for this woman named Annabel Lee, right? That poem, not gonna lie, has a lot of deep meaning and symbolism to it. Anyone can have multiple interpretations of it. But the main concept, at least in my opinion, is that the speaker loved Annabel Lee to the point of death and even after death. Yeah, pretty much, and I honestly think it's beautiful. Love, death. His body relaxed and mind somewhere else, with a small smile and the light in his eyes are apparent before his smile turned into a frown. The people refuse to let them be together, as if fate refuses them to die together. Oh, I know he said I won't let it happen to me and you. What was that? What? Oh no, don't mind me. But yeah, that's my report about. That's what my report's about. Sorry, I kind of started rambling on. No, I don't mind. Thanks for sharing. I honestly think it's quite interesting. Also, I didn't think you'd be the type of person to be into romance. What is that supposed to mean? Nothing. Some time passed and there were only a few more minutes left until the bell rang. Packed your things up and stood from your seats, almost forgetting you made some sort of cushion. No librarian was there, but the librarian saw that, like, you not do that in the library. Hey, I'm sorry for sitting on you like that. That was kind of rude of me. No, it's alright. I didn't even see what he said. What was that? Nothing. Your next class is art, correct? How would he just being forward now? I mean, Susie was forward. How would you know? It's my next subject. Who knows, maybe we're classmates or just have different teachers. He lets out a sigh, seemingly disappointed at the realization that he messed up. Packed up his things and before heading towards the exit, he followed him on the way out. Just then, okay, so now we have the last option, something intimate. I don't even know what. Is that your first? Are you that desperate to go get your seat? Something intimate. Oh, okay, just a hug. I was like thinking of something else. What, you want a hug or something? He raised a brow at you, a slight tilt to his head, wondering what you were trying to imply. Not that I got a good look at him, he actually looks kinda cute. Now wait, what am I saying? Shaking your head, ignoring your cheeks heating up, you pat your temples, trying to get rid of the thoughts. Minding you no more, the guy returned his attention to the book in his hands. A groan escaped your mouth. With a pout, you set your things down and sat on the chair next to him. It was quiet and your attention was just solely focused on the work before you, while the guy beside you continued on with his book. The sound of him flipping through was oddly comforting. Time passed by, and the next thing you know, there were only a few students left in the library. The guy beside you closed his book, checked it into his bag, and left the library. You learned to look up at the library's large clock, a few minutes before your next class. Oh, so we decided to admit defeat. That's what you should have done in the first place. And then we suddenly felt as if someone was staring at you, drilling holes through the back of your head. You turned around but saw no one. Everyone was just simply minding their own business. You shrugged it off and returned your gaze to your professor. Okay, so I am at my last choice, which is to go to the rooftop. Tick of irritation formed on your forehead before huffing out of anger. Actually, I was feeling somewhere else today, so no thanks. You and your group can go ahead. Brittany raised an eyebrow before shrugging her shoulders. Suit yourself then. She snapped her fingers before turning around and heading out with the rest of her friends. Snapping. In all honesty, you have no idea where to go despite the school being very notorious and had so many facilities. You were thankful you got accepted here in the first place through your scholarship. But making friends in this forsaken school is on a whole new level. You sighed and looked out through the classroom's windows at the darkening sky. Maybe the smell and sound of the incoming rain might help ease the burning feeling within you. With the goal in mind, you went to the rooftop. The rooftop is off limits, but they don't often bother to even lock it up, much less barricade it. Once you got in, you took a seat on the pavement under a small shade as droplets of rain slowly descended down from the sky. Just then you heard footsteps to your right. A few mutters of words were heard. Curiosity nagged you. You went to the corner where the sound came from, and there stood what seemed to be a student with bluish-green hair. They were in a call, their steps in a cycle going back and forth as he talks to whoever is talking to behind his flip phone. His other hand grips his hair, clearly irritated to whoever he was talking to. He flipped his flip phone closed and let out a sigh. Suddenly, his body froze. The drastic change in his demeanor sent chills down your spine. I can see you, you know. Show yourself. Come out or keep hiding. Well, might as well. He knows we're there. Slowly inch forward, showing yourself to the strange student. The more you look at his face, the more you seem familiar, and judging from his facial expression, he was thinking the same thing. How much did you hear? I only heard you curse and nothing else. You answered with honesty. He raised a brow, trying to look at your face, see if you're telling the truth. He sighed and shook his head. Either way, it's rude to eavesdrop on someone's conversation. I told you, I just got here. You bared your eyebrows. He just chuckled, acting as if it was just silly teasing. You seem familiar. Let me remember. He closed his eyes, his hands on his chin, doing a thinking motion like those cartoon detectives in TV shows. Susie Smith from art class, correct? Yeah, why do we have to lie? Student smiled in glee. That's great. That means you'd be willing to help me with something. Wait, what? I'm Hugo, by the way. You see, I won't be able to make it to the next class, and I kinda promised my partner for the class that I'll be there. Hugo chuckled, a sweat drop forming on his cheek. You gave him a look. Seriously? But I'll make it up to you, I promise. I'm quite close to the student council and happen to know a few connections. Might be able to refer you if you'd like. He says with a wink and a nudge, waiting for you to take the offer. That does seem like a good offer. Can help lessen your expenses and have a higher discount on your scholarship, and judging from his looks, it doesn't seem like you have a choice. With a sigh, you accepted his offer. Hugo gave you a pat on the back as if you guys had been long old friends before escorting you out of the rooftop with him in tow. The school bell rings, indicating the start of the next class. Oh yeah, I already had an assigned partner for this class, but he last minute ditched me for some important family business. He never tells me though. I'm not the type of guy to pry either. Does your friend go by the name of Hugo perhaps? Yeah, how do you know? I met him during lunch. He was at the rooftop. Typical of him. Sorry you got dragged into his mess of taking his place. You shook your head, telling him that you don't mind one bit. He then keeps talking as if he's scolding the green-haired lad back in the rooftop like a little brother. It was actually quite cute. Slowly took out your sketch pad and started drawing Soul's different expression as he talks. Would you believe me if I tell you that guy is one of the top students in the entire class, yet is always missing in action? Really now, doesn't seem to be that type of guy. Which part, being a top student or always missing in action? Soul's brows raised and he shrugged as he kept on sketching his face. Soul, however, caught up with what you were doing and stood up from his seat, tried to pry your sketch pad out of your hands. Were you drawing me this entire time? No? Liar. I thought I was supposed to be the one drawing you, not the other way around. He sat back on his seat, crossing his arms, his eyes narrowed while he bit his lower lip. Now come on, it's not a big deal, Soul. Plus you look really cute. Soul's cheeks turned red and his eyes popped wide open from your comment and looked away. The grip on his arm tightened as he wrinkled his long sleeves. Oh, he says something? I'm always missing what he says. Nothing. You tilted your head to the side. You sure mumble a lot. It's a habit. I'm not used to talking a lot. Keep talking about your friend Hugo. You seem to be so fond of him regardless. Soul just sighed and rubbed his nape, his expression relaxing a bit. I am a lot, that's all. Enough about Hugo, though. Let's continue on with our task. Alright. Nope. And I'm drawing, and that's final. You pouted. Alright, Grumpy. As you drew, you couldn't help but stare at his face, and the bandage on his cheek, and judging from how much it's covering half of his face, it's quite a large bruise. He didn't get stabbed this time, though, so that's good. You fell down the stairs or something? What makes you say that? Yeah, I asked you. You pointed at his wound on his cheek with your pencil. Well, you could say that. Nothing for you to worry about, though. We weren't sure if you wanted to pry more into the conversation, much less want to know what exactly happened, because from the way he talks, it doesn't seem like he fell. But that's a story for another day. Hope it gets better soon. Thanks. Soul managed to sketch up your portrait, but was caught up with the bell eventually, not being able to finish on time. He tried to pry off your sketchpad from your hands again, however, trying to get rid of the doodles you made of him during his little rant about his friend. But you chucked your sketchpad into your bag before he could get his hands on it. Soul eventually gave up and started packing as well. You and him went to the exit door of the classroom and continued on in the hallway. So let me just keep hiding. Kept hiding, refraining from leaving from your hiding spot. Who knows what this guy is capable of? Plus, he's kind of suspicious why he's here at the school's rooftop of all places to be. Usually people go up to the rooftop if they don't want something exposed. Why are you there? The student just sighed and scratched his head. I'm not going to hurt you, you know, said as he turned around. Your eyes widened when his gaze met yours despite being hidden. What the hell? Seeing no use in hiding any longer, you went out of your spot, but with an alert stance. He just chuckled. It seemed familiar. Let me remember. Ah, Susie from art class, correct? He said with a snap of his fingers, kind of like seeing those detective cartoons you see in TV when they figured out a clue. What if we just lie? Let's lie. Nah, I think you got the wrong Susie there. You lied. The person before you just blinked at you twice in disbelief, scratching his cheek in confusion. For real, I could have sworn you were the same person. His voice lowered before waving it away. Either way, I'm Hugo and I need your help with something. Wait, he's still gonna... Seriously? Okay, and I think I got all the different dialogues. This is the end of day 1 for the kid at the back. I think I got all the different dialogues for most of the characters. So obviously, Soul is one person of interest. I don't know who the other guy, I don't know if it's your childhood best friend or the Hugo guy that's gonna be the second main love interest. But seeing how Soul seems to know who we are already and seems to already have his eyes on us, I don't know how this is gonna turn out good or bad or not. I don't know. I like the game so far. Basically, I like how the school setting and whatnot. I didn't even realize they were in the university. It felt like they were in high school with the way the school is structured. But I like the art overall. I think it's very pretty in a way. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.